Hey, Panther fans, Panther Nation, Cardiac Cat here, back with another video. I'm trying to make this quick. I know I ain't made a video since like week 4, and that was the last time, right before we played Seattle last time. Unfortunately, fortunately on a couple fronts, but a lot of things have happened with not only with the Panthers but with my personal life, and which I didn't get a chance to really sit down and put the effort I like to and enjoy putting into videos. One of which I moved, transferred inside my company, and unfortunately, at the end of October, one of the biggest event in that time frame is going to be that my grandmother passed away from cancer. And so, you always reflect on life and realize how important it is when something like that happens, and that was no different. And I had a couple people from my family, a couple uncles and things like that I was pretty close to, who passed away in the past few years. And so those are always difficult things to endure. But you just got to cherish life in every second. All that being said, I'm about 3.5 hours removed from the Panthers and the Seahawks game. About maybe 4. And Panthers won 31-24. And I'm going to go as quickly as possible. I have a lot to get to. I'm going to make some more videos, more specifically, the way I like to this week. And in reference to some of the things I want to say. I was going to make a video going up to this one. I did a lot of groundwork for it, as far as the way I wanted to do it, and unfortunately just one of the pieces didn't fall into place till too late, and then I couldn't get it together. And then editing, of course, if you've ever done editing, which I know a lot of you Panther vid makers have, then there's a lot of effort that goes into that, and a lot of time too. And I wasn't going to be able to put all the pieces together the way I wanted to, and I didn't want to just throw something simple and ramble after I haven't made a video in 10 weeks or more. Plus, then the aspect of people outside of Panther Nation, those fan bases that I don't care about. And when I say fan bases I don't care about, of course, we have some rivalry between our division and the fan bases there. But more importantly, anyone who likes my videos or ever, took the time to watch any of them, I do appreciate that. Anyone who just negatively trolls and says things like, oh, now you want to make videos because the Panthers are in the playoffs, but you didn't make them all year because you knew that maybe that week, whatever, they just make up some of the craziest shit you've ever heard in your life. But speaking of which, I really don't give a shit what any of those people think. Outside of my personal life and outside of Panther Nation and the people that actually enjoy my videos, I don't care. Enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, if you don't enjoy my videos, then don't say anything. If you think that I'm doing something that you don't like, then don't watch them. That's pretty easy. All that being said, I didn't even make a video, but part of the follow-up was I was following some vid makers, Panthers vid makers. NFL Panthers 07 is one of them. I know I shout him out a lot every time I get back on here after a hiatus or whatever it may be. And it's because he's one of the top ones that's been around for a long time. There's a lot of them. Panther Nation is actually pretty good with their vid makers, but he had expressed some concern with a couple things that I'll reference after the game. After I kind of go through the game, so going back to the game real quick, we won 31-24. We go up 31-0, which is crazy. I'm losing my mind. I'm watching the game with my father, which I've done every single week for the past 15 years. Or more. And actually even more because we were listening to the radio sometimes when it was blacked out that year we went 1-15. So, but that was when, the passion really started to grow, and it was just became a big thing that it is now. We go up 31-0 right before half. Momentum switches a little bit, and going into half, I had mentioned something to my father that I hate, because we're up 31-0. I know a surge is coming back. Anyone who watches football knows there's going to be a surge. They're going to start scoring. They're going to gain a little bit of momentum, especially since the end of the first half. They started gaining a little bit of momentum, and they're going to start to make it a little bit of a comeback. It's about when do you stop them. The second half of a game seems to always be different. My dad always refers to that too, and mentions that we sometimes come out different in the second half and come back and win games like that. But it's about when do you stop them. So I knew they would come back. I felt a 31-point lead because I predicted before the game that we were going to win 31-14, and we won 31-24. So I was a little bit off, but I felt that they would come back. They would score. I knew they'd probably get within 2 scores, maybe even a score, which they ended up doing. And what really pissed me off is I said kind of out loud because I thought about it, and I was like, if they get within 10 points, even 10 points, if they get within 10 points, they come back and get within 10 points, then every media outlet is going to do the exact same thing that they've been doing all year. And it's not about the Panthers won or the Panthers dominated or kicked this team's ass or whatever it is. It's about the Panthers caught this team at the right time, or the fact that so-and-so may be injured. Not remembering that Kelvin Benjamin is injured and been injured all year. It's really frustrating to deal with those things, but you kind of ignore them and overlook them. I don't even care when they come out and they pick against us. I don't care because that's just their opinion. But then to come back afterwards after we win and you say things like, well, you're going to lose this week because of this reason. And then you come back afterwards and say, well, now it's different. You can't do those things. And that's what, referring to NFL Panthers 07, and kind of what got me all pissed off is because I'm big into motivation. I watched I came across a motivational video that was Panther oriented. It had some Panther highlights, and it's really good. Definitely check it out. It's like 5.5 minutes. I'm big into those things and that mindset of the great people, the greats out there, like the Cam Newton, the LeBron James, the Muhammad Ali's, the ones out there who are going to be very confident and the in-your-face type. Those are the people I follow and kind of study their mindset because I felt like I have a similar one in my trade and those things. And LeBron James even last year saying they lost one of the games of the finals, not the final one, but one of them before that, and he said they asked him, how do you deal with defeat or something, and he said, I'm the best player in the world. And anyone not only thinking that, but to portray that and say it, Josh Norman, Cam Newton, to say things like that and reference it, I really respect because I'm extremely confident in that fact, in that regard too. So I watched the motivational video, and it really got me amped up, but really thinking about some of that media stuff, for whatever reason, really had me pissed off. And then at halftime, we're up 31-0. I'm thinking, man, this team's going to come back and get within a couple scores. I don't think they're going to win, even though they did get within a score and an onside kick away from this being a really, really interesting finish. It's just because they're an NFL team. It's the Seahawks at that. Russell Wilson's a pretty good quarterback, so I've heard. And they got some weapons. Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. Stephen A. Smith. The Seahawks was his preseason pick. If anyone who watches First Take or anything or follows any of them, and he went with them, which I have no problem with. But he mentioned they need beast mode to beat the Panthers. What has beast mode ever done against the Panthers? Ever. What has he ever done against the Panthers? Marshawn Lynch has never done shit against the Panthers. So why was that such an important thing? And and don't get me wrong, he's a professional and he's good at what he does, and things like that. But it's part of the problem I have with this shit that the Panthers have and Panthers fans have dealt with for several years, and that's the lack of the respect. And you can do this, but you can't be there. You can be good, but you can't be great. And maybe it's because I have that chippiness mindset that the Steve Smiths and Josh Normans and Cam Newtons of the world have, the LeBron Jameses, those guys. But regardless, I knew that it being within one score, which it ends up being, I figured tomorrow we'll hear some of the shit that we've heard all year. As far as, well, it's not, the Panthers didn't win because of the Panthers. The Panthers won because of the turf. And because the turf, I guess, affected the other team differently than it affected the Panthers. Or the weather. And the weather, I guess, affected the other team worse than it affected the Panthers. Or the other team, even though they were great all year, like the Packers, well, the Panthers caught them at the right time. They caught them slipping. And then we got to win there. And, you know, again, I don't care if that's what you're saying. And, like, you're saying the Panthers are going to lose, because I don't care about someone's opinions regarding that fact. But then to come back and then almost go, like, when you pick the Seahawks against us, and say, or the Packers or back whenever, and then they said that, then you come in afterwards, and instead of saying, giving props to the Panthers, okay, I said they weren't going to beat this team. I said they weren't going to beat this team, and they did. Instead of giving props to them, they come out and degrade how that team played. It's never about the other team. To them, it's never about the Panthers. To me, it's never about the other team. It's about what the Panthers are able to do. In the loss against Atlanta, Panthers came out flat. I don't think we overlooked Atlanta. I think we just came out flat. I think there was a lot of pressure. I think that Atlanta's a pro football team. I think we came out and we even had a chance with 2 minutes left, and Cam Newton had the ball swatted out of his hands, and he fumbled, and they got the ball, and that was a wrap. And we took our first and only loss of the season, and yet the dangerous teams going into the playoffs were the Seahawks and the Cardinals and the Steelers, and it's just, I don't care that it's frustrating for the Panthers as a team, and probably for a lot of the other fan base, to not get the respect that we all know they deserve. I don't really care necessarily, but it's just you can't play both sides of the ball. You can't say, well, the Panthers aren't going to win because of this, and then when we do, it's because it's other random reason. It's never because, well, the Panthers showed up and they beat their ass. No, the Panthers showed up and beat the shit out of the Seahawks today. The fact that that's not a 7-point game. It's a 7-point game because that's the scoreboard says that. Anyone who watched that game knows that the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, Michael Bennett, Richard Sherman, who every single player on that team, their coach, their fan base, every single person related to that damn team lost today. And that's because the Panthers not only are the better team, were the better team, and kicked their ass. Point blank, period. It's over. And it's not a throw at them, but damn, like, just say that. And I've rambled a lot about this, but I've been in that mindset and of anger all day, because the whole game and even since. And even I didn't want to get on here and ramble. I was wanting to make a bunch of really good videos this week, and I am going to make some videos. Whether they're good or not, they'll have some effort. I'll make a few, and some of that referencing some of these things, like before the year, Panthers would be lucky to win 7 games. Stephen A. Smith was one of them who had said that. And then he actually, I respect when you can come back and say that and retract and say, hey, I was wrong. But they just stop short of doing that when they pick against us, because we're just don't have that talent level. We're the best team, not in the playoffs, not in the NFC South. We are the best team in the NFL. Period. There is no caveat. There's no here or there or win or the best offense or the best defense or the best scoring. We're the best team. We're the best. Leave it at that. What team do you not want to play? The Panthers? It's not even close. It's not the Steelers. You're not going to play the Seahawks now because we took care of them. It's not the Cardinals. We're not scared to play the Cardinals. The Panthers are the best team, number 1 seed. And the first thing Yet the very first thing, and what pissed me off even that much more, the very first thing after the game's over, I believe it was either Joe Buck or somebody on Fox Sunday, the Fox Sunday desk, the I believe it was Joe Buck. It just pissed me off. They said they started off coming back from the break, and the first words out of their mouth were, Seattle Seahawks score 24 points in the second half while shutting out the Panthers. But that still wasn't enough to overcome a 31-point deficit. Really? So anyway, that's a lot of the frustration I had. I know I'm vented for, what's the time at 15 minutes, 16 minutes. And anyone who's gotten this far, thank you. Panther Nation, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm going to make a few this week. Do my best with them. Man, put some effort into them. I don't even think I touched on half of the things I wanted to get to because I kind of got lost in a rant that I didn't want to get into. I wanted to touch on that, and we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. More importantly, the Panthers have won. I'm super excited about that, so I don't want to seem like I'm down on that, of course. We got Arizona, and how big is that number 1 seed now? The fact that we did go 15-1 and took the number 1 seed. Now it's coming to Carolina, and they're coming to the bank. One more game from the Super Bowl. We're in our first NFC Championship game since 2005. That's 10 years. Last time we played the NFC Championship game actually was against the Seahawks, and we lost to them. Last time we played the Cardinals in the playoffs was last year, and we beat them, and same thing. Cardinals got a great defense and a great offense and a great running game, but they got their third-string quarterback. Okay, they're still, it's still an NFL quarterback, and their NFL quarterback didn't have anything to do with their defense. So, but that was last year. This is this year. This is the Cardinals, and I'm glad they're healthy. I want a healthy Cardinals. I want every single reason possible for not to hear anyone's shit about why we won this game, other than the fact that we're the best team in the league. And I know that I touched on a lot of things and got pretty emotional with it. And I apologize that I ranted for so long. So again, Panther fans, Panther Nation, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I'm excited. NFC Championship. Let's go.